Hey, what's up, guys? Sebastian Castillo here, and I am back in back in Cancun. Really couldn't have come at a better time because the weather in Canada was really starting to get frigid and unbearable. So happy to be back. It has been a little bit rainy recently, but other than that, really happy not to have to bundle up so much anymore. I wanted to make a quick video about something super important for Canadians leaving Canada and wanting to make things easier in terms of banking, especially when it comes to, if you're working online, getting paid in US dollars and then making that easier, and even when it comes to wire transfers. So, the idea behind this video is, as a Canadian citizen, or even just a resident, I believe, you can open certain bank accounts in Canada that have a cross-border equivalent. Now, it's important to distinguish. Some of these banks will have an option where you go into the branch, you call them, and you open an account, and they give you the option to open the US dollar account. That is not what I am talking about, because it is still part of the Canadian account. What I'm referring to is literally opening a bank account in the United States that is under the same umbrella as that bank. And they give you a bank account number and everything there, and you can use it to deposit US dollars. You can get a debit and even a credit card through this, and you can use it with US dollars. You can deposit your US dollars, you can use Cash App, Zelle, and probably most importantly, this is one of the big reasons why I did this, when it comes to moving larger sums of money, it is much easier to do this when you firstly have a US dollar account, and it's actually a US bank account. The problem with a lot of Canadian banks is that they're still dinosaurs, and when it comes to wire transfers and the like, it is a pain in the ass. Don't ask me how I know. But it's remarkably easier with a US account. Now, in terms of personal, first off, what are your options? Just to list off a few. The banks that offer this US cross-border account are RBC Royal Bank, CIBC, TD, and then those are the three I know for sure. And then there is, I believe, BMO, Tangerine, and possibly Scotiabank. Okay, but I would suggest you stick with those top three: RBC, TD, or CIBC. Now, from my experience, probably your best choice will be the RBC account. With all of these, if you don't already have a Canadian account with them, you'll want to create one. It's usually fairly straightforward, and you can just do it online or on the phone. And usually they'll get you to just pop into the branch, show your passport, driver's license. Usually you want to take 2 pieces of ID and then just open it. What I did with RBC is opened a savings account on the Canadian side, so they don't charge me a monthly or annual fee for it. And I already have a debit card from another bank that doesn't charge me, so there's no point in taking a debit account with RBC if they're going to charge me for it, you know. With that, it is enough. They probably won't, like, they want to make money off of you, so they're probably going to steer you away from just the savings account because they don't charge a fee to keep that open. But you'll probably want to just do that for the sake of opening this cross-border account. And then once that's done, they'll give you a client card with a 16-digit client number, I believe, which will then serve as your jump-off point for opening that US account. And it's simple. You just want to call them, and they'll go through the process with you online as well. And they'll ask you if you want to, what kind of account you want to open. You'll have the option, interestingly, of getting a credit card with them too. And this way, you can build US credit. But be warned, they will pull your Canadian credit in order to assess if you're eligible for this. So if you're good with that, then that's awesome. If you're not, you probably don't want to do this. As in just getting the credit card. There are other ways to do that where you'll be able to start with a clean slate. And now, they will do is you'll go through the process, I'll ask you a couple of questions, and they will open that US account. It's quite seamless, and they do charge you a monthly or annual fee for the debit card, which they'll also send you by mail. But the nice thing is, the interface is streamlined. It is nice and clear, it's fairly modern, and you can transfer your money between your Canadian and US accounts, and also set it up with Wise, Zelle, Cash App, and basically it's your US bank account. It's like having, a Wells Fargo or whatever it is, right? Now, the other options. I don't have personal experience with many of the others. I will say that from what I've seen with CIBC, it is free to open that account. But the caveat is the interface is very clunky. It looks like it's something out of 2002. It's not very updated. It's kind of a bother. It just loads kind of slowly. I mean, if you want to save the $3.95 a month or the $40 a year by just opening that free account, the US cross-border one, you can do that. Also, another issue I had with them is it was not as streamlined to get the US debit card delivered to my house. So that's another reason why I would suggest going with the RBC version of the US cross-border account.